Fantasy Football Hub have extended their huge 50% discount on their annual packages until the Game Week 3 deadline. By becoming a member, you'll gain access to one of the biggest FPL communities, with extensive Opta stats, player comparisons, fixture tickers, planning spreadsheets, community WhatsApp groups, and even team reveals every game week from some of the world's best FPL managers. To receive this huge half-price discount, simply click the link in the description box below and get signed up before the Game Week 3 deadline. Hey guys, and welcome back to FPL TV, and welcome back to the Point Predictor, the series where I try to predict 5 players that I think can return points in the upcoming FPL game week. I can't just pick any player though. The catch is, I can only select one player per club, and I must follow the category shown on screen. Before making my predictions for Game Week 2, let's see how my choices from Game Week 1 got on. So, a solid start for the Point Predictor this season, with 3 out of 5 correct predictions. Reece James managed a clean sheet and 2 bonus points, despite getting booked away to Everton, and Mo Salah was his usual consistent self, returning points on the opening day for the 6th season in a row. Callum Wilson perhaps the pick of the bunch here, with him at a lowly 3% ownership, rewarding his owners as a nice differential, and notably outscoring the popular Jesus, who is priced similarly. Aston Villa's Leon Bailey ended up being a poor pick however, with Martinelli the budget midfielder I should have opted for, and as for Harry Kane, well sadly he didn't return anything despite Spurs scoring 4. Immensely frustrating for his owners, with me being one of them, and in this price bracket, Game Week 1 was all about the Erling Haaland show. So let's move on to my Game Week 2 predictions now, and see who I think could be in the points this weekend. As always, at this point I want to reiterate that these are simply predictions, and I am not a tipster. This series is simply for entertainment purposes only, and only you are in control of your FPL team and transfers. For my defensive pick for Game Week 2, well, Manchester City are no doubt my favourites for a clean sheet here at home to Bournemouth. But with me wanting to choose a Man City player elsewhere in this point predictor, I've had to instead opt for the next best option. It's always a coin flip between teammates Robertson and Alexander-Arnold, both of whom on their day can provide attacking returns. But I've opted for Trent here, as he generally creates a higher volume of chances, thus giving him a better chance statistically of getting an assist. With new signing Darwin Núñez impressing in the Shield and now in Game Week 1 as well, you'd expect him to start his first Premier League game here, and I think that can only increase the assist potential of Trent, who is known for putting in a lot of crosses. Do I fancy the clean sheet for Liverpool here? Well, based on their opening performance, I'm not so sure, and Trent against Zaha in particular should be a very interesting battle to watch. However, the bookies do have them down as the second favourite to keep a clean sheet behind Man City, and despite conceding 2 goals to Fulham in Game Week 1, we all know at Anfield Liverpool are a different beast. They'll also surely be looking to respond after that opening day fixture where Fulham really caused them problems. For the budget midfielder this week, below the price of 8 million, I'm opting for Arsenal's Martinelli. Leeds' budget midfielder duo of Jack Harrison and Brendan Aronson strong considerations here, but I've settled on the Brazilian following a very promising pre-season and a strong showing of his own in Game Week 1. With a lot of expectation on them this season, Arsenal kicked off their campaign in, I'd say, professional style, with a hard-fought 2-0 win away to Palace, a place that's never easy to get a result. With another difficult test ahead of them against Leicester here, the Gunners will surely be fancying their chances in their first home game of the season, with the Foxes just conceding 2 goals to Brentford last time out, and uncertainty over their goalkeeper situation, with long-time servant Schmeichel now leaving. Do I trust Martinelli to return as much as I would Saka or Jesus? Well, probably not. But with them both being priced at 8 million, they're much harder to fit into the point predictor. So Martinelli is a more than capable alternative that fits nicely into this budget midfielder category. Impressively, he did rack up 2 big chances in Game Week 1 though, whilst Jesus and Saka both came away with nothing, and he also registered an expected goals tally of 0.77, by far the most of any Arsenal player, so there's no doubting that at this very early stage of the season, he looks to be exceptional value at 6.1 million. For the midfielder of any price this game week, I've opted for a player just above the 8 million threshold, and that's Jarrod Bowen. It wasn't a great start for Bowen in Game Week 1, with the winger not even getting a sniff against Man City. But in fairness, you can't criticise him too much for not returning there, in what is undoubtedly one of the most difficult fixtures of the Premier League calendar. Bowen only managed 25 touches in that game, and just 1 shot in a frustrating opener, where Man City dominated 75% of possession at the Olympic Stadium. So this pick certainly isn't based on what Bowen did personally in Game Week 1, but more based on the underlying numbers of his opponents Nottingham Forest. In Forest's opening fixture against Newcastle, their defensive numbers were the worst in almost every metric. They conceded the most shots with a whopping 23 in just 90 minutes, and also the most shots on target with 10. They also conceded the most shots inside the box of any team of the game week with 16, and were given an expected goals conceded of 2.5, the league's highest. Now, does this say more about their defence, or more about how good Newcastle were? Well, that's difficult to say right now, considering we only have one game week's worth of data, but either way, it's promising reading for the West Ham attack in Game Week 2. For the budget forward for Game Week 2, below the price of 8 million, I've opted for Patrick Bamford at Leeds. For this Point Predictor episode, I was keen to select a Leeds player somewhere here. Not just because they kicked off their campaign impressively against Wolves, but also because their opponent Southampton started their campaign in a very contrasting fashion, getting beat for 4 against Spurs. As well as conceding 4 goals in the opening game week, the most of any team, opponent Southampton conceded the second most shots inside the box with 14, and also the second most shots on target with 8. For the very few managers that did opt for Bamford as a big differential in Game Week 1, well, despite returning an assist, they may still feel slightly hard done by. And that's because, interestingly, Bamford was the only player to rack up 2 big chances last week and not get on the score sheet. Only 7 players managed 2 big chances or more in the opening game week, and he was the only one to do so and not score, with an XG of 0.89, the 4th highest of the game week. What I also found interesting was the performances of the wide men around him, in Jack Harrison and Brendan Aronson, who I mentioned earlier, both very impressive. In fact, Jack Harrison made the most key passes of any player in the opening game week with 7, and he also created those 2 big chances for him. So hopefully Bamford continues to have this great service in Game Week 2. For the forward of any price this week, no prizes for guessing this one, it's Erling Haaland. A fairly straightforward point predictor pick this one, with Haaland starting the season with a bang, netting both goals on his debut in City's 2-0 win away to West Ham. As mentioned a few days back in my team selection video for Game Week 2, in just a 78-minute appearance away to West Ham, Haaland racked up a monstrous 4 big chances, the most of any player in Game Week 1. In that time, he also registered 5 shots inside the box, also the most in the league, and an XG of 1.83, again the highest. Simply put, it was a near-perfect debut for the Norwegian. Not just for him personally, but also for all the FPL managers that backed him, because not only did he rack up a 13-point haul, but he also dominated all the underlying numbers that an FPL manager wants to see. Of course, heading into Game Week 2, this fixture will definitely be a different dynamic, because away to West Ham, the Irons were expected to go out and try to win the game, thus leaving space behind, which is ideal for Haaland. So it'll be very interesting to see how he does get on at home to Bournemouth, who will likely try to stay compact and park the bus. The Cherries did impress in their opening day fixture too, with an opening clean sheet against Villa, and notably, they only conceded 4 shots inside the box, the lowest of the game week. For this reason, Haaland is by no means guaranteed a return here, and Bournemouth should not be underestimated. But given this is Man City, at home, with Haaland's top-notch debut, he's a hard man to look past for Game Week 2. And that's my 5 point predictor picks for Game Week 2. Let me know what you think of the choices, and feel free as well to leave your own 5 point predictor picks in the comment section below. Hopefully you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, please consider leaving a like on the video, and more importantly getting subscribed to FPL TV. Be sure as well to click the notification bell, and that way you'll always know when a new FPL video goes live. I've also already uploaded my Game Week 2 team selection video a few days ago, so if you haven't already, you can watch that now by clicking the thumbnail shown on screen. Good luck to you all for Game Week 2, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all in the next video.